Hellos. I'm going to show you a little bit. I mean, I guess it's a tutorial. It's not like really a tutorial, but it's kind of a tutorial of my method for day to night that I used. Cool. Now, day to night, not perfect. Usually not very good, not very great, not as good as if you were just to do it with, you know, the real light that you had. But in this case, it was just sort of a necessary evil for me for a couple reasons. Even though I'm shooting on the BMCC 4K with these Mikey Prime Cinema lenses, you know, it's not perfect. Even at 32, one of the, you know, native ISO, there's a bit of noise, especially when it's really dark. And you see there's a light right here. It actually doesn't work on this. There's no light that's emitting or coming off of this sign, which is not great because it blends in very well with the background. So even changing the levels on that and denoising it doesn't look good. And I wanted this sign to light up. And so, for example, like this is what the original shot was. It's shit. And even going in and trying to fix it, it was not going to work. It was unsalvageable, basically. So that's why I thought, okay, let's try a day to night type of thing. So let me show you what I did. So this is just my color space here for my BMCC 4K, just with all my, you know. And these are just a little bit of sharpening tools I have. So that goes on everything. And then for the clip itself, first thing we did was add a grade, just darkening up everything, adding a bit of a blue tint. Now I know there's not really a blue tint at night. I get it. I understand this. And I'm not a huge fan of it either. I try not to go too far with it. But people expect to see blue because that's what we're used to in films. So there's that. Second thing I did was add a gradient to the top here, just to add a bit more of a pop to the sky, which is mainly the coloring from this part. And I can kind of show you what, so the gradient is up here. Just kind of make it stand out a bit from the, you know, beyond the trees. And because when you're in the sky, it's lighter because you have stars and a moon and all that good shit. And then it gets darker as you go to the ground. So we also did a gradient to the bottom, just darkening everything up here. So again, like before, after, and it really helps down the line, especially like on these trees and this house and everything here. Making sure they don't, you know, there's a bit of contrast. Then we did, I boxed out the sign here. I'm blinking on the term right now. I added a window. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Window on the sign, and then I tracked that so it follows the sign here. And then I brightened it up a little bit, added some orange. So the shot that it's going with right after this is this shot right here, which we have this pole, this light post that's you know, emitting this orange light here. And yeah, it really doesn't make sense that if the sign is lit up, then you'll equate the light here to this. But I think it'll at least help blend, and you know, it makes it seem like it's at least the same universe. So that's what we kind of went off of there. Let's go to the clips. And I know what you're saying. It's like, well, that looks terrible. I understand this. Which is why our most important thing comes into play. Not only is it a glow, but you can notice we messed with the curves again. So just really darkening everything up. The main area where the sign is emitted, we kind of pop, and this is what we get. I'll show you sort of some settings if you want, I guess. But what I also thought was kind of fun is you'll notice in a few spots up here, the glow kind of reaches, which again, in the sky, you have your light. And when you look up, you can see some light, especially if the moon's really bright or whatever it is. So I thought having a couple of areas, even though like it gets cloudy, so maybe behind the clouds or just off camera, you kind of get the sense that there is light coming up there. Again, helping it stand out from the foreground here, making it pop really behind the trees as well. and obviously adding the glow for the sign to kind of make that go off. And again, is it perfect? No, not at all. But is it close enough for a 2-second shot? Like, this is literally the shot here. You know what I mean? And then we're here. It's muted. That's why the sound's weird. But, I mean, yeah, that's basically it. So, this is our before. This is our after. Good enough. You know what I mean? All right. Peace out.